Shalom. First and foremost, and give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High and His only begotten Son, who we know and believe as Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rawakal Kodash. Double honors to elder apostles, great millstone, and rule well. And blessings to you, sincere laborers, much love and respect to you, brothers out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. And also blessings to you, few sisters out there listening and learning. I'm not Phil Surfer Kanakla coming at you once again with another lesson. And as we know it, man, 2020 year of prophecy. Just when you think things are dying down, something else pops back up. And what's hot right now in the spirit is this whole Seattle thing. All right, where they create this autonomous zone where pretty much a group of people, however many it was, I don't know, but a group of people pretty much took over a certain area within a city, a certain zone, a couple blocks, and they pretty much declared that zone is not American. So, that's straight. These are things straight out of a movie, man. Okay, and this is scriptural. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna hit the precepts first, and I'm gonna get into that. This is 2 Editors 15 and 14 says, "Woe to the world, and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men." And that's the key, sedition among men, all right? An uprising. Here it is, you got a group of people that's pretty much took over a piece of U.S. land right here, right, on America, took over that land, and pretty much declaring it theirs, man. Pretty much the rules of America don't apply. They pretty much took over a part of U.S. mainland. So pretty much now they would be considered as domestic terrorists. That's pretty much what it is. That's like some Arabs coming over here, taking over a few blocks or a portion of the city and claiming it to be theirs, barricading it off and saying, "Oh, this is part of Afghanistan now, or this is part of Iraq, or this is part of Iran." That's pretty much what's happening. So you have, and I believe this is staged, because the same thing that happens amongst these other nations, how Esau will put terrorists, he'll fund ISIS and set them up in certain regions. Esau fund ISIS, set them up in certain regions, all right, like he did in Syria, right? And then what the U.S. will do is they will say, we're going in to help fight the terrorists. The terrorists have taken over this city, so what, we're going to go in and we're going to fight the terrorists. So what happens is the U.S. plant the terrorists there. Then what they do is pretty much they take over that same land, but it's like a smoke screen. It looks as if they're defeating the terrorists, but they just taking over the land from the terrorists that they already set within that region. So it's pretty much like a trade-off. All right, you guys are good now. We're going to take over this region. But it's going to look as if, we fought you off. You know what I mean? Because when that was happening over there in Syria, when ISIS was taking over certain oil facilities, the U.S. would warn them first before they bomb. So they give the terrorists time to leave the regions. That don't make sense. But when the Russians would bomb over there in Syria, bomb ISIS, they wouldn't give the ISIS no warning ahead of time. They would just bomb them. All right. But the U.S. would warn ISIS, and then ISIS will have time to pretty much move out of that region, and then the U.S. take over that region. So this is nothing different. I don't want to be too long-winded, but I want to make sure the point is across. Hopefully it is. But so the Americans, all right, America funded. I believe America funded these people to take over this region. Then what? That's just going to give Donald Trump that go ahead to send the military in. Then once the military go in, the military is going to establish a permanent presence within that region. And they're going to, same thing they did in Iraq and all these other ISIS. They're going to be like, well, we got to keep this military presence here so the terrorists won't come back and retake the land. So what? Now you're going to have a military base right there in Seattle. That's pretty much what's happening. Okay, but at the end of the day, this is creating that sedition among men. Verse 16, invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Now we know there might be some sincere people among, this autonomous zone, if I'm pronouncing that right. But the people that's funded, the people that moved this thing to do that, okay, I believe they were set up. And it's all fun and games right now. I'm gonna go to this video and let some of this video play. And it's all fun and games right now. Oh yeah, it's like we got our own party. We having a party. In the video it said, look, it looked like a pretty much it looked like a street carnival. Yeah, it's fun now because why? You're able to eat food and do all these sort of things. But these things are going to take place all around this country, and it's not going to be, all fun and games. It's going to be groups of men coming in, robbing you, taking spoils, taking over regions, robbing you, raping your women, taking your food. It's not going to be so see, right now it's fun because, you can still go to the grocery store and put food up and food is still accessible. But wait until people start doing this autonomous zones. Wait till people start doing this and there's no food, there's no water. Those autonomous zones, they're going to be a lot more dangerous, man. It's not going to be a fun thing. If your region, if the city or your neighborhood gets taken over by that, best believe you won't be in a merry spirit, okay? Because they're going to come in and they're going to do what they want to do. So I'm going to just let a little bit of this video play and I'm going to get back to the precepts.
Don't miss Rich's spectacular backyard staycation event. Save up to 1/3 off Rich's large selection of outdoor furniture and fire pits, featuring Jensen Leisure ePay Outdoor Wood. 3-day delivery. Rich's. Enjoy life outside. Now open in Mount Vernon.
Mark, Jessica, good evening to you. Yes, that area has been transformed since a series of violent demonstrations and after Seattle police abandoned their precinct, and its future is now part of a national discussion. 6 city blocks.
I mean, this is an American city, and it didn't look or feel like it.
The heart of Seattle.
A lot of people that are witnessing a spectacle.
Now the middle of an American debate.
There are a lot of people that are coming out and taking pictures and artwork and activity.
The so-called Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, adjacent to the abandoned East Police Precinct, has a Black Lives Matter plaza. And while yes, there are some people here looking for trouble, others are not. By midday, the zone had more of a vibe of a street fair with families and small children walking about.
We're not going to let...
Now, as you see, I'm going to pause that real quick and I'm going to let it play. But as you can see, he said it had more of a vibe of a family, a family environment, so to say. I forget the exact terms he put. But that's right now. It has a family vibe right now. Wait until, all right, there's no food, man. Okay? It's not going to have such a family vibe. Because why? They have free food out there, carnivals, playing basketball. Wait till there's no food, man. All right? So these little zones, all right? Because this is just a precursor of things to come. Okay? This is just reality. This is just what's going to happen. You're going to have militias, or you're going to have gangs and stuff taking over regions, man, and claiming regions, man. You're going to have them claiming territories in these times. Because why? The police are not going to be present. Okay? So you're going to have groups of men going over, taking over your neighborhood. Okay? And they're going to go in your house, and whatever within their region is going to be theirs. They're going to be able to do with whatever they want to do with. Okay? They want to come in your house and take your women or take your children or whatever the case may be, take your food. They're going to be able to do that. But the point was, it has a family vibe right now, but wait until there's no food. Wait until the time of Jacob's trouble come, when his dollar collapses. Okay?
Seattle be occupied by anarchists.
The president is threatening to intervene as the outside rhetoric builds.
This is no different than ISIS taking over cities in the Middle East.
I think that may be a...
Khan. And I didn't even watch that whole video, but that's he said it. He confirmed it right there. I'm just now watching this. He said this is no different from ISIS taking over the Middle East. Okay? Nothing more to be said.
A little bit of an exaggeration, but I will say, having been on 4 combat tours to Afghanistan, I saw a lot of parallels to the shadow government that occurred in those countries.
Jesse Jensen is a Republican candidate for Washington's 8th Congressional District 2 and said after visiting today, he's worried about setting precedent.
What's to prevent, a criminal element from coming into those cities? The purpose of government is to provide life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can't do that if you are being extorted by armed gunmen.
Seattle's police chief said again today she's intent on reoccupying her precinct.
My goal, first and foremost, is to have the officers back in the facility.
Don't ever forget that this is a Black Lives Matter movement and protest.
We asked JD, who is patrolling the zone, if there is any common ground.
It's a book that we're all kind of partaking in, and things aren't necessarily known on what is on the next page, but even just in the next paragraph.
Until then, Chaz will stay in the center of an ever-evolving, complex national story. JD also told me today that Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkin was on site, and he spoke with her, and he said he was glad all of that happened. However, there is no path forward for any sort of coexistence with the police department and the people that are occupying that area right.
So pretty much they took actions into their own hands, as the scriptures say. So I'm going to go back to the scriptures. Okay? It says, 2 Ezra 15:16, for there shall be sedition among men, uprising, and invading one another. For there shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they took, the course of their actions shall stand in their power. The police are gone, they say no cops, and they're not going to allow cops in there. Okay? Now, I believe this is staged, yeah. But the point is, prophecy is taking place, whether it's staged or not. It's those that's in His truth understand that the Most High controls both sides, whether it be the Edomites, Esau, the left-hand side, or the right-hand side. The Most High controls everything. All right. Verse 17 says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right. And that's martial law. Because, man, it's going to get bad. Like the one dude said, he said, what did he say? He said, what's going to stop criminals from coming in and occupying? Pretty much like it's so-called civilized now, it's so-called, it's good now. But what about when bad people come in and take it over? You know what I mean? Yeah, that whole family that family vibe is just going to disappear, man, once it get into the wrong hands, so to say. You know what I mean? Man, bro. If you don't see what this means, then you gotta pray to the Lord to open up your eyes. But man, this is straight out of a movie, man. This is straight out of a movie, and it's getting better and better as the day go by, man. And the Lord is making His promise, man. The Lord is breaking Babylon down. Babylon is finished. Okay, Babylon is finished, man. It says, verse 18 says, for because of the pride of their city shall because of the pride of the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay? It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and that's it right there. They're going to come to your neighborhoods, right? But shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So that's what's going to happen, man. You're going to have armed gunmen coming into your neighborhood, claiming zones, all right? And the police is not going to be there to help you, man. Right? But, man, with that, man, Lord willing, you was edified. Until next time, hey, man, brothers, keep watching. This is just only going to get better, all right, for us, man. Prophecy is being fulfilled. So with that, until next time, I'm going to say shalom.